So that's for. I was like, why is that there? What is this?
We live.
So you professional.
You stupid.
Let's not share it. We don't got nobody on just yet. But when we do, huh?
You got it up?
Yeah.
So,
I want to share.
and that's yours too? You said that out too?
Yeah, so that's that. Share it on my timeline. Then I'm gonna tag you in.
That's what I'm waiting for so I can put it up.
I should do that for radio too.
Okay. We got 2 people. Hey. See, I can't see the comments, but I know people rapping. So if you want to go live, you can. Do you want me? You can go on my page.
I don't understand.
That's all right.
Share Nazi.
I mean, if you want to share it on your regular page, you can.
You didn't tag me in anything.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can tell
This
you.
guy.
Yeah, I told you I'm old school with it. I'm definitely old school. I'm learning. Sheesh. Hold on, I'm about to tag you right now, so you ain't gonna do all that.
Okay.
Do.
Can you tag me like you know me? Because like I'm sitting
He feels
there.
all neglected.
I got y'all.
I'm only your brother, but you know.
Stupid.
Like real brothers?
I mean, except on Sundays, 'cause, you know.
You sound except on Sundays?
He eat bacon.
You stupid.
You don't eat bacon.
So I'm like, heck yeah, I eat bacon.
Bacon.
Beef bacon.
I did that whole pescatarian thing. I was like, yeah.
Oh, nah.
I started losing weight where I didn't want to. I was like, yep, time to stop
I
that.
ain't doing that.
Yeah, time to stop that.
Alright. So listen, what I'll do is I'll start it and then just look. Let me see.
I started losing weight where I didn't want to. I was like, yep, time to stop that. Wait, why do I? Time to stop.
That's my. Oh yeah, here we go. So listen, what I'll do is I'll just look. Let me see. Oh, you could just hit this right here. Everybody, like, oh, what's going on? I want everybody to see what's going on. Alright, share. Here you go.
No,
All right.
I just posted.
Now, yeah, you just write what you want to write.
Oh, okay.
We're about to do this intro drop. Ready, Ruck?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And it's your boy, the Ruck Report.
And on behalf of our boy, Chris G, he's not here, but you know we got to say Chris G. And we got a guest.
Special guest.
I don't know, special.
Oh, thanks.
Special.
Thanks.
Starting already.
Already.
We got SP the Ghost. What's up? What's up? SP the Ghost.
You do not own the rights to her name.
I'm about to say, don't do that.
SP the Ghost. How's it going?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. So, I just want to, thank my man, Wes. Also, I want to thank Hannibal for, putting you in and say, yo, listen, I got female, because we need females. We got a lot of guys, and which is good, but we don't have no females. And females that do talk sports is like,
They know a little something.
Yeah.
You're about to get in trouble.
No, I'm just saying though. It's a lot of females, they don't like to talk sports. And
Well, Quinn said that, people.
but we want females to talk sports. Like we want to have females who know sports, and we want to come here. So thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank
you for inviting me.
No, it's all good. Like I said, you come from what, like 35 minutes away. 30 damn.
I would have got here earlier, but those slow drivers, speed limit people.
Hey.
So Route 34 can be a pain in the
Oh
ass.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I gotta drive the speed limit.
34 is disgusting. 34 is
yeah.
disgusting.
Well, no, they were in my way. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Route 34, you always get that person that goes exactly 40 miles an hour the whole way, and it's like,
Yeah.
I.e.,
Move.
she got a ticket. That's what that means.
I've had tickets before.
So could you just tell the listeners like who you are, what you do, some of your interests as far as sports, and
Okay.
why sports so dope?
Well, my name is Shannon, aka SP.
The Ghost, go ahead.
I'm from Danbury, Connecticut, but I've been all over the place. I do college radio in Danbury, 91.7 WXCI every Tuesday and Friday starting the summer again due to a schedule change.
All right.
Basically, which you probably listened to my show before, all I do is sports. Talk about sports, anything, hot commodities. And also, of course, play music, local artists too. So if you guys know anybody, that wants to get on the air with edited music, they always forget that.
Hear that? People edit it.
No curse words.
Yes, because
your drink will sound like bleep, bleep, bleep.
Exactly, and I don't want to get suspended. So FCC rules and all. So that's what I do, and I also have another job. It's not within the media, but it's real estate for the military. Okay. So I do that as well.
Nice.
Why sports is dope? I don't know. I just love it. My dad, I swear, raised me like a boy.
Good.
So
good job, Dad.
Yeah, I'm a daddy's girl. So anytime he left, I would go with Daddy. Anything that he's watching on TV, I'm watching it with him. So I was watching Jordan and Lawrence Taylor and he's a Jets fan though. He's a Jets old school Jets.
Your
fan.
father?
Yes,
okay.
He's a Jets fan.
Okay.
So anything that he did, I followed. He actually was the reason why I started writing sports. This is actually before internet and all that. Well, internet was there, but this is when people actually read the newspaper still, the newspaper. He knew I loved sports. Okay, let's watch. And he gave me
Nah, but you know what?
You're not gonna talk about my babies.
Nah, that was back when the Knicks was dope.
Exactly. So he gave me a notepad, and I had to write each player's name. At each column, 2-pointers, field goals, 3-pointers, fouls, all that. Yeah. Wow. And I had to literally do it old school. And when I was done doing that, I had to write an article. So then the next day when the newspaper came in, we would compare articles. So that's how I started in that. So my dad basically helped me start.
Shouts out to your pops. Okay. Shouts out to your pops. Now, a lot of people, they don't do that no more. They just go online and they put their little. But that was like old school. Like, yo, you going. So now you got to watch the game. You know what I mean? Now you really got to watch the game. But that's what's up, though.
Yeah.
So then you just flow from there and.
And then I started writing for the high school paper back then, sports.
Okay.
And then went to college. Even though I could have went to different colleges, I stayed at West Con.
Okay. Down the street.
Yeah.
Down the street.
So it's more of a convenient thing because I got accepted to Southern many schools and I just chose West Con. But I got to do play-by-play for this football team, the basketball team. I did play-by-plays, commentary.
Okay.
And I did a whole bunch of sports radio.
Shout out to West Con. I went to Southern, still going to Southern, get my master's. Shout out to Southern.
Good.
You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I got a few boys that went there. I don't know if you know him, DJ Mohawk. He played baseball. No. Who else went there? That's
she said that quick though. No.
I'm not a baseball
guy. I'm trying to think who else.
I hate to say it. I really want to know baseball. Cause I've been to Yankee games.
I mean, baseball is dope. But it's only dope in October.
Yes, because it's so.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just
the All-Star game.
So many games.
October.
Mm-hmm.
So many games. So it's like, baseball. You gotta watch it like when it's like in the thick of things. But it's dope.
If there's a sport that you can have a kid play,
it's money.
Yeah. But you gotta be good too, though. But you gotta be good.
Yeah.
You gotta
definitely
be
that
dope.
Good. Just the money. just to get the money.
Average to get that $100 million over 10 years. Oh, we good, son.
We're good. Let me see. Let me check in.
Learn how to chew gum and that's it. So Harry, what up, man? Os, what's going on?
So I'm just gonna jump. Hold on. Let me fix your mic, please.
Shout out to everybody that's watching too.
There you go.
Thanks.
Chris G, where you at, man?
Yeah, Chris, where you at, man? Where you at?
Need you. You gotta talk about Connor.
So, also before we start, shouts out to our sponsor, Crusader Gear. What's good?
Mm-hmm.
Crusader Gear in the front. Holla at your boy. Aaron Wilson, Senior. If you want to contact him on Facebook, definitely hit him up. We got a lot of promotional stuff going on, as well as his own gear, as you can see, man.
True.
Shouts out to our sponsor. I'm gonna jump right into it.
All right, what we doing?
The Giants. The draft.
I feel sorry.
The draft.
For our guest.
Listen.
I'm trying to be nice though. Right now.
I even got my notepad because I know that you A1, so you're gonna be given sort of kind of unbiased answer because again you are a journalist, so you know. Far as the Giants, what do you guys need in the draft?
My personal opinion?
Your not ESPN, not racist. I mean Mel Kiper, not him.
Marquette, the hair.
Mike Mayock, he's coming along, you know, because he is talking to Lamar Jackson, free Kodak. So he's starting to learn. He's starting to learn.
I'm done with you.
Right? Yeah. Yo, no lie, honest to God, right? So I'm in Seymour, and I'm in like the boonies, and on somebody's car it says free Kodak. I meant to take a picture for y'all. I'm just saying. So
that's what's going
free
down.
Kodak. Now back to what I was saying. I'm sorry. What do the Giants need? What do you think they need?
I've been saying this for a couple of weeks. I think they should go after Barkley.
Okay.
The reason being is, as a Giants fan, of course, I saw them win the 2 Super Bowls with Eli, Victor Cruz. Of course, we can go back to Manningham, the other receiver.
All right. That's enough. Go ahead.
You're just a hater. Anyway, so when we did win the Super Bowls, we had 2 dominant running backs.
Okay.
We had Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs. Since then, we haven't had dominant running backs. Like everybody liked Rashad Jennings. No, I didn't like Rashad Jennings. Perkins, injury prone. We never had a dominant running back. Even though I actually wanted D'Angelo Williams. Actually, I thought D'Angelo Williams was a pretty good running back.
That's a good vet.
So we won the 2 Super Bowls with that. Now everybody's blaming the O-line. At the end of the day, we never had a great O-line. Our O-line's always been injured, shift change, all that. We never had a dominant line. So with that being said, they always had a running back to throw real quick to. And Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs, they were just 1-2 punch.
Yeah,
you know, so that's why I feel that we should go after Barkley, because he's an overall great running back. A lot of people compare him to either Adrian Peterson. Some people actually compare him to Barry Sanders, who's actually my all-time favorite running back. I wouldn't go that far. But
I mean, he dope. I like
Saquon. And I just think he's the best athlete overall. I mean, the quarterbacks, none of them to me stick out. Like, I just don't see any, he's the next future quarterback. But we can't really go off by that because we've seen in history that quarterbacks coming from the 6th round, like Tom Brady, you know, came out of nowhere. So,
shout out to the GOAT.
Yeah, but I just feel... I just feel he's our best choice. Okay. Compared to, I wouldn't get an O-line at the 2nd pick. No? I wouldn't get none of these quarterbacks. To me, I wouldn't get defense. No, I would just go after the running back.
Well, I said, and again, I'm not a Giants fan. No, just know a little football, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I think that y'all do need a quarterback, and they don't have to be in the draft. Like y'all can get a free agent because Eli is up there. You know what I mean? Like he is getting long in the tooth, as D would say. Linebackers, I think that you guys can definitely use some linebackers, and you know definitely address the secondary. Definitely address the secondary. But I think with that being said, like, you know, y'all got a decent O-line. Y'all got a good receiving core. It just, y'all were just hurt last year.
That's another thing, and they try to put it all on Eli.
Man. Yeah.
It was like Eli sucks. I'm like, we just lost 7 stars. We lost Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard. I mean, Dwayne Harris. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and Ingram, I felt bad for him because it was his rookie year. So all that weight on him. Brandon Marshall. And I honestly, with Brandon Marshall's pick, I wasn't too sure about that. Right. Because I know that
it could have worked, though.
Right.
But he wants to stay here because of that broadcast job.
Yeah.
So I felt that he's not really trying to stay here to win a Super Bowl. I feel like he's just staying here so when he retires, he's already set.
Right. Listen,
and
Brandon mind is in different places, as most people with bipolar. So,
leave my bipolar people alone.
Shout out to mental health. Yeah. It's real, people. It's real.
But I mean, it's. I don't see. Again, I see you guys getting Barkley because I don't see the Browns doing what the Browns need to do.
Which is what?
Getting a running back. They don't need They don't need a quarterback.
Listen, who you want, Tyrod? What?
I think that Tyrod with a good Barkley, you know, would get some veterans at the running back position, can definitely help to booster that offense, which is probably going to be very well. But you get a young quarterback, and you know that they're going to rush him to play. Yeah. Like, give me a quarterback that's going to be top 3 predicted by ESPN and all those whatever. Give me a quarterback that's going to come in and really start. Exactly.
Yeah.
There is none.
That's
but honestly, like, when does that ever really happen? Right.
Right.
The only time that we can say in the last, like, say 10 years that it's been a drafted quarterback, and I'm talking outside of Eli and all those people, but if you look at, say, Cam, and you could say Matty Ice, right, in that gap that have come in day one, this was their job. The NFL is what we talk about all the time, especially the draft. It's about upside. It's about potential, right? So, and we say that all the time. Yeah. But if you're looking at what the Giants need to do, you have to take the best available talent there. Now, people are going to claim about the quarterback. You're going to claim about O-line. Those are all needs. I think if you look at drafts, you can always find a quarterback, a backup quarterback.
I agree.
And you can find a lineman in later rounds.
I agree.
Yep.
But that splash player, and especially if the Giants are trying to hook Odell into staying, it better be Barkley. It gotta be. It can't be nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're going to ride with Eli and let him ride out into the sunset, you have to give him some weapons around it. They got some, but Saquon, you can't pass that up.
Right.
Even the Browns too. I think the Browns would be stupid to even let the Giants get a chance to get.
They will.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, so it's the draft. But at the same time, you got to take talent. And what the NFL is turning into is much like the NBA. You need playmakers.
And Saquon is definitely one of those.
That's true.
It's playmakers. It's all about playmakers.
And I mean, there are other good running backs in this draft, but nothing like Barkley. No. So you can get a running back later, but Giants are not going to get that. If they give up the second pick for a quarterback and wait till the 34th pick, they're not.
Like that's the one position that you have to say, even though it's not a running back league.
Right, yeah.
Because you have that type of talent, and it's always going to be a position that you just can't pass up. Like, say what you want. The Saints got lucky with Alvin Kamara slipping.
Yes.
The Minnesota Vikings, Ted Thompson, I hate you and your whole family. I feel like the Minnesota Vikings draft Dalvin Cook, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't really happen. So when that person is sitting there,
you got to get him.
And I definitely agree with Dalvin Cook. When I saw him available, I wanted the Giants to get him so bad. I'm a Florida State fan.
I thought that's how I was going to get it. Okay. Sorry to hear that.
That's why I like her.
Sorry to hear
Florida State.
I'm sorry about the Giants, but Florida State we can rock.
Gator Nation over here.
You know what it is.
Wow.
Because at Florida State, we do it big.
Whatever.
Crab legs and big things.
Well, at least you're not a Hurricane fan. I think I dislike Miami Hurricane fans.
He wanted to
be
on the logo.
Yeah.
Nah.
He wanted to be
Listen, I root for Florida schools. I like Florida State, Florida, and Miami. But my team is the Gators. Like that's it. But I always root for the little brothers.
The little brother.
Always root for my little brothers. But
trying to be a gang member. I know what it is over there in Gainesville.
You see my boy? We got him. But I mean, it's and like you said. But I think that a lot of offensive coordinators are realizing that you got to get a running back who can do more than just run the ball. You got to get a running back who can, go out on the screens, who can block, who can go deep.
And I honestly think I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. When we have Vereen, I like Shane Vereen. I just think they didn't use him the way they did. There was one play I remember. They used him on the screen, but that's the same play he got injured on. But he went like 15, 20 yards, and then later I found out he got hurt. But I thought we should have kept him and used him better, like how the Patriots used him. Yeah. The Giants definitely didn't know how to use Shane Vereen. I thought we should have kept him. So.
But we do have to say this soon. We're getting some good comments, on the page.
Yeah.
This discussion really goes out the window if y'all don't take care of Odell.
It's true.
If this really means nothing, if Odell stays in LA doing what's this dance? I can't even.
You better leave my baby. First of all, y'all not gonna talk about my baby like that.
First of all, your baby don't like you like that. He like Mr. Sonny.
You stupid.
But anyway, I'm just saying.
Stupid.
I did that for Rich London.
I'm gonna read one of the comments. It said I'm guessing the Giants. Yeah, it said trade that number 2 pick for as many picks this year that they can get to plug up a lot of holes. This is the deepest draft in a while.
Hi, Spencer.
Spencer, what's up?
He's from Virginia.
Okay, VA.
Doing that. Nah. I mean,
I don't think you got because
the
holes that the Giants have in any other football team, if you look at what happened in the AFC in the NFC, right? And shout out again to the Eagles because I said that.
Yes, you did.
Right? Yes, you did. You're gonna need weapons. Yes. You're gonna need weapons that can score. It's gonna still be a division that the defense is not really gonna carry you. Mm-hmm. But if you can put points on the board, that's the premium right now. So all those holes that Spencer is talking about, we can find those in later rounds.
Yeah.
You
in the division, the Giants division is gonna be pretty tough this year with the Cowboys, and then even though Redskins, I love Alex Smith. I think he's definitely underrated.
He's gonna make them better.
And I think the Chiefs were dumb to give him up because they got rid of Mackley. He had no one to throw it to. So and then it was like, what? Oh, he doesn't throw the ball. Who does he have to throw it to?
But listen, as a Niners fan, I think. Listen, I love Alex Smith. I think he had like 8 coaches that he was under, but I think that was kind of smart for them because how much value are you going to get out of Alex Smith? I mean, he got like another 2 years maybe, and he is a proven winner. However, but when you talk about taking the team over the top, you don't look at him like Alex Smith plays not to lose. He don't play to win.
He's a manager quarterback,
right? Yeah. And you can't manage, especially when you're giving up 27-point leads.
But you know what Alex Smith is, and I think it's why they made the gamble. He's a quarterback that, especially in the system, a West Coast system, can get everybody the ball. And that was the problem that Kirk Cousins couldn't do. He would lock in on somebody. Listen, they went and tried Terrell Pryor experiment, and that didn't work.
Yeah.
When clearly he was the best receiver on the team, but you couldn't get him the ball. Yeah. Because you're trying to force. Alex Smith, just like he did with the Chiefs, he made that offense dangerous because he plugged everybody in. And if you look at the landscape of the Redskins you're talking about, they just got Paul Richardson Jr., they got Crowder, they got a healthy Vernon Davis, they got Jordan Reed coming back. Yeah. They got a couple.
He's a beast too. Reed is if he's healthy.
So they have what they can do, and now you have a quarterback
who can get them the ball.
Not only can get them the ball, but still at his age is very mobile.
And let's not forget who was Alex Smith's favorite target when he was with the 49ers.
Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
So you mean tell me he can't make Jordan Reed work?
Yeah, right. That's why I said division is going to be very, very interesting.
It's going to be different.
Now, I got a question. Here's my question for you guys. The Patriots, they got 2 first rounds.
I'm leaving the show.
They got listen. They got
lucky my mother watching. I was perfectly stupid.
They got 2 first round picks. You think that they'll say, Giants, let us get Odell. You think that they'll make that move?
Bill can.
They're not going to give up Odell. I just Odell. Why would you give him up though? I don't like you're speaking of Niners. Your boy Alden Smith back in the day. Yeah. How many times did he do some dumb shit? And
very true.
Well, it was like 5 times before they gave him up.
He's still smoking weed right now.
And he just got he just did something else recently, and they finally released him. So that's what I'm saying. What has Odell done besides just being a little bit immature?
I think more so the injuries. Well, I think more so the injuries. Odell? Yeah. Again, I'm playing devil advocate. I'm looking at the Giants saying, listen, how can we maximize our potential and get what we can for him right now? Because when you have an injury like that, usually guys, they come back and their psyche is not the same. RG3, I mean, the list goes on, but I don't think that the Giants should get rid of him, but it's still not out of the picture to say, listen,
I think
we got to be careful. Yeah,
I think they're watching, and if anybody knows Bill Belichick, he's doing everything that he can do in terms of research wise to see if this is going to be something. Because sad thing about it is Odell Beckham to the Patriots would almost be like the cheat in Madden. Like, stop. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, do they need him? No, because they have a system.
Yes.
We've seen, even though people are going to say older in the tooth and everything like that, but we've seen that type of receiver in the Patriot system not work. Yes. Chad Ochocinco. So,
and let's not forget they had Aaron Hernandez and Grunt, and they won the Super Bowl.
The Patriots are going to do what they're going to do. I think they're going to flip these picks that they got, but I think it's all about if Tom wants that. Because you see the reports that came out after Brandon Cooks, they was like, Tom was like, I ain't really mad. Like,
why should you when you got a great system?
And supposedly he's the reason why they got rid of Jimmy G too.
You know what I'm saying? They straight up did a whole meme about Brandon Cooks at the Super Bowl. Tom like, I ain't mad.
Yeah.
But I think, and you could put anybody with Tom Brady, seems like. Because, I mean, look they made it to the Super Bowl, and they didn't even have his go-to guys.
As guests, we don't like to say his name too much.
Nah. Go ahead, keep on saying it.
I like to say his name because I'm a Giant, so,
Whatever.
But anyway, but I just feel like Tom Brady, I mean, he didn't have Edelman last year, obviously. And there's times, and I think the year before when he won the Super Bowl, he didn't have his starting wide receivers. Gronk was out. So, I mean, it's like you could put anybody with this guy. And as long as Bill Belichick is running the show, I think they're in good hands. Their defense, on the other hand, definitely needs work. So, if I was getting those picks, I would use that on defense.
I agree.
And they let Malcolm Butler go. They have a lot of,
I'm getting a cornerback. I'm definitely getting me a D lineman. a DN to come off the edge. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't get any pressure. They had no sacks on the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and they lost. Do they have Deion? No, Deion Lewis left, right?
Yep, Deion Lewis is gone.
So that might be.
Matt Patricia is gone. You know, so
they signed Burkhead. That's who it was, right?
Yeah, Burkhead they had. Yeah. But you lose your defensive coordinator. You lose some good pieces. The thing is that people don't want to say that, the Patriots fans, is that we've been seeing this over the past 3-4 seasons now, where the pieces are now starting to lead. Like, I understand it's a money game and all that stuff like that, but I think it was a big message that Danny Amendola just took the money and left. And especially to go to Miami, where you already know the cupboard is bare. Like, unless Danny Amendola is cool with Trick Daddy and Trina, I don't see why he did it.
He's trying to be on ballers, man.
And Tannehill is.
Oh, he's out of there.
But they gave him all that money. When I heard it was like 100 something whatever mil. What has Tannehill done? Granted, he does statistically he got better every year.
No, he didn't.
And they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs because that. I don't know. Everybody in that conference that year didn't have a good.
You know why he got the money? Let's be real.
Why?
He's a white quarterback. Stop it. You know why he got the money.
Oh, you just go right there.
I'm just going right there.
All right.
I forgot about podcasts.
I'm just saying. Right. You know, like.
Do it then.
It was many quarterbacks that you could have gotten, but you know Tannehill, he had that upside and he got that potential. So they know that if we get the white quarterback, it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet.
Yeah,
it's a safe bet.
It is.
Safe not in terms of playing, but safe in terms as marketing. Safe in terms as political. Because you know that the only
politics,
I mean, come on now. Because think about it. You know, you could have got Tyrod Taylor to say, listen, go over there, help him out. RG3 at the time. But it's like, nah, we want to get you because we know we won't have to deal with so much scrutiny if we get you. That's why they got him. And then he was in Texas A&M. Who was subpar team in D1.
Yeah.
At the time, he also was in the Big 12. Then he transitioned to SEC. What did he do there?
I don't.
Exactly. so we know why he went to the Miami Dolphins.
But with Tyrod Taylor, I mean, I feel like he got played by the Bills because they kept taking him out, putting him in, taking him out, putting him in.
They're going to regret it.
And that's the thing. So when he left, I was happy for him. Granted, it's the Browns. But I like Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson loves him some black quarterbacks. Because I remember him with the Raiders. He had Jason Campbell.
Yes.
And
who definitely underrated as well.
Yes, Jason Campbell and McFadden in his prime.
Yep.
Both got injured and they still made the play. Well, they barely, I think, made it because that's the Tim Tebow did that miraculous, got the Broncos in the playoffs. It was like one game. But he loved
Tim Tebow.
I like Tim Tebow. That's
my boy, the best college quarterback ever.
I think Hugh Jackson loves black quarterbacks. So, I mean, hopefully Tyrod Taylor will be appreciated, but they're still going to draft a quarterback because they gave up Kaiser, which I thought that was weird and unfair to him as a rookie in that position, and they kept doing the same thing to him. Put him in, take him out, put him in, take him out. I felt that was unfair to him.
And it's sad because when you, at that point, when you're the Browns, you can experiment because you went 0-16, so it's like, what do you have to lose? You know what I mean? Like, what do you really have to lose?
That's my whole thing with the Browns, too. Right now, they're playing with house money.
Yes.
And think about it. You went 0-16 with not seeing Jabril Peppers all year. You didn't see, what's the dude from A&M, the DN? He didn't play all year.
Oh, my God. I know you're talking about.
So you have all these pieces now, and then adding Tyrod, like you said, adding other weapons around it. I mean, listen, the Browns did a great job of adding veterans to a mix of young talent, right?
Right.
So you got Tyrod Taylor where the quarterback position was shaky all last year, but you know he doesn't turn the ball over. You get Carlos Hyde, a productive running back that's in there.
Yes.
You get Josh Gordon back, right?
I love Josh Gordon.
You add Jarvis Landry. You add a couple other pieces. You got a good tight end.
Yep.
You add a veteran tight end. So, and then defensively, you're starting to add more young pieces on that side of the ball. Plus, you got to also say that defense didn't have Jamie Collins all last year. You know, so it's a lot of things that are going on, but I think what teams are doing now, and they talked about this on the NFL Network, I think it's people just putting in to win now. Like, obviously, what the Rams and the Browns are doing is saying, listen, we're putting all the chips in right now.
Let's see what happens. The Rams is like crazy. I was like, how are they doing this?
We talked about it last week, but I thought about it some more.
It's dope.
If one of those players do not get double every play,
it's crazy. Crazy. First of all, when I saw who they had at corners, I was like, okay, cool. And then when I heard Sue was going there, I was like, oh shit. Now mind you, my Niners is in that conference.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy better pray.
Yo, listen, for real, because I'm like, yo, we straight. And then you
saw
Sue.
the Rams. Yeah.
I'm like, because you got to double team one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Pick your poison. Who's you gonna double team? Unless you got some unstoppable offensive line, which I highly doubt anybody has.
Now listen, at the barbershop this morning, your boy Ephraim, high representative like you, said that San Francisco 49ers are going to have the wild card this year. Do you agree with that statement? Go ahead and say yes, because you know you want to.
Because he's a fan. Yes.
Go ahead and do it.
You know what? In my heart, I would love to say yes, right? I would love to say yes. But at the same time, we have not played together. We have not gelled together. We have not even been in training camp together.
So why give Jimmy all that money?
Because we had to secure a good quarterback.
But all that money?
I mean, listen, we got it because we got the bank.
You got it.
Believe because we got the money.
They believe they went 5-0.
Right, and we still got money to blow. Mm-hmm. We got the players that we need, and we still got the draft. So,
I mean, he was trained by Tom Brady. So I mean,
right. You know what I mean? And so again, it's just one of those things where you got to trust the process. I hate to say that, but you really do with the 49ers because we got what we need.
But let me ask you about your Niners.
Go ahead, please.
No, I feel what they did to Alex was messed up. I understand why they did it. I love Colin Kaepernick. We're not going to get into that yet about the politics and everything. But how do you feel like when they... We're not talking about politics when it comes to Colin, but just as a player. When they always say, oh, he's not getting signed because of his stats, how he played the last 2 years or what have you. Now, I looked at it as in, listen, everybody was retiring. They got cut.
Right.
And they let go Harbor, which I thought was probably the dumbest move.
Right.
Yes.
And I feel like it was more personal than business because it made no sense.
Right, yeah.
He brought you to the Super Bowl. The lights went out. That's what made you lose. And then...
And we didn't run the ball either.
That too. And even though he didn't make the Super Bowl the next year, he was still 8-8, I want to say. 8-8, 500.
8-8.
So... Yes. That didn't make sense to me. That's why I said it was probably personal. Now, do you think that if you would have kept Jim Harbaugh and Colin Kaepernick and you guys would have found some pieces and...
Yes.
Yeah.
Because once we got word that Jim Harbaugh was possibly leaving, everybody was jumping ship like, yo, we're not...
The wheels fell off.
You know what I mean? Because he is a player's coach. Mm-hmm. People like to play for him. You know what I mean? So when you take away an asset in a coach like that, but again, we have a horrible owner in Jeff York.
I'm glad somebody admitted, finally.
And then we had Trent Bucky, who was our GM. Thank God we got rid of him.
Yeah, by Lynch.
Yep. We got John Lynch. Shout out to him. So
Tom, what up?
It would have worked. It definitely would have worked. Again, if you look at what he's doing with Michigan, he turned that program around.
Yeah, Wolverines. Yes.
So now if you got him,
you know Chris listening, he will come smack.
Oh, and to Tom, your comment, I'm going off of what other people are saying. I'm not because he's trying to correct me. I'm going about what other people are saying why he's not being signed. They're saying that the last 2-3 years as he started, he was trash. That's why he's not getting signed. We all know the reason why he's not getting signed.
Well, we know why he's not getting signed with the 49ers because he wanted more money than what we had. So we was like, listen.
But we can't say that now because we just gave Jimmy. So y'all clearly had to stand.
No, we didn't have
y'all
the
was
money.
Like this.
Nah, but you gotta remember, we still had Carl Hyde. We still had to pay our veterans. So we didn't. We didn't have the money like that. No.
Say what happened.
You are a Packers fan.
But no, I'm with you.
No, you're right.
I'm not down with him. But what happened to y'all? The wheels completely fell off because not only whatever happened in the business part, right? With York and Harbaugh, okay, we get that. But y'all had some stuff happen that what other football team could recover from that? You talk about the Navarro Bowman injury. You had Patrick Wills say he's retiring. You had the young linebacker that was going to be an All-Pro. He retired. Yeah. You had all these things happen. Y'all was going through, what's the boy that we was just talking about? Smoke a lot. Yeah, Smith. Yeah. You had all that going on. So you had a whole bunch going on. So I give you all that to say it's hard for a team to recover from that.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
In terms of saying that y'all didn't have the money, That's one thing I will never say with the NFL franchise.
No,
y'all had the
money. We had the
Carlos
money.
Hyde is not making that much money.
Definitely not. He was the rookie contract.
But he wanted max dollar. We was like, yo, we can't do max dollar as yet because we got to get these pieces in line.
He ain't earned that. And I know you with me. I know you with the struggle, but he earned that. Stop that.
I think he did. But I don't think he wanted to be there because his coach wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So I think in part he was putting up a fight to be like, listen, I think if Jim Harbaugh was there, he would have said, listen, give me what you need so we can win.
Yeah.
But once Jim Harbaugh, he's like, give me the bank.
Yeah.
And again, Trent Baalke didn't want him there. That wasn't his guy.
No.
He didn't want Kaepernick. He wanted Alex Smith.
Alex was his guy.
He wanted Alex Smith. So when you look at the politics of it, he got 2 for 1. He said, all right, well, since you want to get rid of Alex Smith, we're going to get rid of Cap.
Well, I don't feel like Alex was a bad quarterback. I just
feel
like he was in a bad. He hurt him.
Yes.
So I remember that play. He did like a weird slide.
And
then
he was trying to be safe.
Colin came in, and I remember Colin in preseason. Right. I remember watching him in the preseason because I do watch preseason. Everybody who loves football should because I remember all those weapons Niners had that year. I was like, damn, who they gonna let go? Because I want to snatch one of them. Yeah. And they didn't let Kaepernick go. So when I saw Kaepernick go, I was like, oh boy, and he just blew up. And then that's when Peyton, the whole situation with that. So, are you going to come to the Niners? So I think Alex got cut or let go of around the time Peyton was debating between them and the Broncos, something like that.
It was right after Peyton's visit, too, because they just knew he was going to be
because that's why I thought they let Alex go initially. But you know how that goes. But I feel like Alex, would have done great there. I felt bad for him. And it's funny because the year that he got cut from the Niners, I did this little research. He had 104 quarterback rating when he got cut from the Niners. Same rating he just had with the Chiefs.
There we go.
So every year he gets cut, 104 quarterback rating. Dang. That makes no sense.
And 104 for people that are listening is damn near perfect.
Yeah, that's over perfect.
That's you. Listen, I gets it done.
He has a high quarterback efficiency rating.
But it's like 104 is his curse. It's like every time he gets it,
he got to get 105.
As soon as you play good.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Hey, White was good. Tom, what's up, man? I didn't shout out Tom getting gully. Tom got his own show, the Tom Gully Show. Late night, you know what I mean? Tom be doing his thing. Tom be pissing off the trollers. Definitely one of our supporters. Tom was always supporting us. But speaking of teams, about your Packers. Tell me about that situation over there. Please do.
Why did y'all do that to my boy Nelson, man?
Now you hurt my heart.
I don't like the Packers, but come on, Jordy Nelson.
Jordy, a.k.a. White Lightning, a.k.a. White Chocolate.
You stupid.
A.k.a. Eddie Mustard, Devil Pete. We gonna miss you, man.
Yo,
listen.
And then I want to read something for you guys, and you guys tell me if you guys
I just think with the Packers, the best thing that could have happened is that they realized that Ted Thompson and Don Capers should have been got their AARP card and been done. Like, I was just like, when they did it, I really wanted Remy Ma to be like right next to me. Like, are you dumb?
Yeah, you was pissed.
Like,
you was pissed.
Just, it's great, but I think the thing that has to happen, especially with everything that's going on, the NFL now, especially during the offseason, has taken a big paradigm shift, right? So you got all these teams that are saying we want to win now. Right. Then you got all these teams that are always good, putting a position to say, okay, what can we do to pull something out of the hat? Mm. And then I think you start reaching, right? So am I happy with where we are? No. Am I concerned with where we could go? Yes, because this could all turn left. I mean, if they enter these contract talks and they not feeling what Aaron is saying, because the Minnesota Vikings just gave Kirk Cousins $84 million.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. What do you think Aaron is going to sit at the table and ask for? And I'm Team Aaron. Oh, he need that. Get the bag, Aaron. Get the bag, State Farm, discount double check.
He's on his last year.
Yes. Next year is next off season is when they gotta sit down. So, I mean, I want the Packers to do is to continue to invest in the defense, which I think Mo Wilkinson, shout out to Big Mo, my man from Jersey, Because now with Mike Daniels, we need some cornerback help, big time.
Yeah.
Our linebackers I like. I think it's more now we have to supply Aaron with weapons. I mean, real standalone weapons. So, I'm one of the belief. Listen, we let Jordy go. We got people that's there. Some people might be on the hot seat for me because I think we got to make a splash move. You got to get him a running back. You got to get. Listen, people thought I was crazy a couple years ago when I was saying, "Listen, Minnesota's going to cut Adrian Peterson. Take him." And I said take him just because of what the threat is with somebody like that. Yeah. They have to take it serious. She talked about earlier, as Pete mentioned, a dual, running back, Adrian Peterson and Ty Montgomery.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Because now the tough yards, I know I can give it to somebody. The stuff that we like doing, screen passes and all that, boom. Look at what Sean Payton did in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Right?
All those great running backs. Crazy.
And Adrian Peterson was there, so you're talking about if he just would have figured out to buy into the system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got something. I mean, Jimmy Graham is going to be good for us because he presents a different thing that we haven't had for a long time.
And he's still, granted, injuries and all that. He's still top 3, top 4
a
tight
long
end,
time.
So.
I would have still liked to have kept Richard Rodgers because I think in terms of young tight ends, he still has that skill set that I love. But hopefully we're moving in the right direction. But again, it all depends upon Aaron. I like the Kaiser move because you got to either get Brett Hundley to step up fully or give Kaiser a chance. Because Brett was good away from home. Home, he was horrible.
Yeah.
So Deshaun Kaiser showed in his rookie season that he can win some games too. So create that quarterback controversy. Again, I would have loved Cap. Because now it's an insurance policy. That's what we're in a position just like the Patriots and other teams are in a position that if you lose your quarterback, the season is now over. We're in the same position as the Saints, the Patriots, the Panthers,
What do you mean Panthers?
the Bucks. Like, in terms of if they lose Cam,
okay, seriously.
Derek Anderson,
the Giants too, because if Eli, you know what I mean, like
Eli go down, again.
We've seen it.
So again, it's all about what you can produce,
right.
What the system brings. We got to get some weapons.
Peterson is sitting in free agency, right?
Yeah.
The only thing with Adrian Peterson, he want to go to Houston, which I don't think is a bad look for him.
I think that he's at the tail end of his career and he knows it. He's like, listen, I'm just trying to stay home.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay home. Like, I don't want to.
You don't think it's about the money anymore, right?
Nah.
Because that's what happened initially. He was asking for money. Vikings were like,
yeah. Now he definitely want to be at the crib because he like, I'm old as hell. They know I'm old, even though I look like this.
Right.
They like,
black don't crack, man.
Don't crack, but until them damn bones. When he wake up every morning.
Until them trainers say, hey, trainer, ain't got it no more. Yeah, it cracked then.
I still think he can still
play.
So, yeah.
Just in the right system.
In the right system, yeah.
The
oh, my God.
Tom said my GM name sound like German cheese. You're absolutely right, Tom. We're the cheeseheads for a reason. We're the cheeseheads.
Now, what do you got? So I was scrolling, through some on Facebook, and this is the QB rankings again. I don't know who put it out there, but I just wanted to ask you guys, do you agree with this? I'm only gonna read the top 10. I'm not even gonna read the top 24.
Okay.
Because at 24 you got Mitch Trubisky. How you make your list? I don't know.
Trubisky only played. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Exactly.
First of all, spell it, tough guy.
And mind you, he is a few spots under Alex Smith. But anyway. So
the disrespect.
Dak Prescott is also 16. So you got Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers is number 1.
Yes. You got Russell Wilson.
Dangerous.
Brady, disrespect right there. He should at least be 1. Carson Wentz. Sean Watson. Cam. Cam.
I like it.
Kirk Cousins.
I don't like it.
Andrew Luck.
Whoa.
He hasn't played in like 3 years.
Go back to that.
I'm writing the list.
You said Kirk Cousins before Drew Brees?
Yes, I did.
Drew Brees
and
then,
then said Andrew.
Yes, I did. And Matthew Stafford ahead of Ben Roethlisberger.
Listen,
if you want to check it out,
shout out to our.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
Shout out to our khaki-colored people for making this list because
right.
you clearly
right.
have no idea what you are talking about.
Like, there is no way that you're telling me that right now, Andrew Luck is better than Jared Goff, and he hasn't played like you said.
Andrew Luck shouldn't be considered because he hasn't played in 4 years. You don't even know how he's gonna.
Like how is Phillip Rivers 15?
Phillip Rivers.
Yes, he's 15.
Who wrote this list?
I don't know. You got Matt Ryan at 19.
Hey, Carl, what up?
Tyrod Taylor at 20.
And Matt Ryan's at 9. And listen, I like all things Atlanta that start with Magic City.
Stupid.
But Matt Ryan, 19?
19.
And you talking about the MVP of the league like less than 2 years ago?
You know what? I'm just gonna read the whole list.
Wow,
questions.
That's crazy.
So we got so at 10 Matthew Stafford, 11 Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff, Jameis Winston, Jimmy Garoppolo, Phil Rivers, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith.
Wait, Patrick Mahomes.
Nah, let's talk about basketball. Let's talk about basketball.
Wait,
we not giving them no light no more.
Wait, let me finish. Matt Ryan, Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, Derek Carr, Case Keenum, and Mitch Trubisky.
They have Mahomes above who again?
Yo.
They got Mahomes above Alex Smith.
Yo. He has not thrown a pass. He has not thrown a pass, people.
Yo,
listen, man. Y'all got to stop with this, man. We are the age of, he light skinned.
Yeah. Hi, Carl. He said, what's good, y'all?
What up, Carl?
Cuz we here, man.
Wait, I have a question about this list, though.
That list is crazy.
Listen, I got
it down.
on Facebook. I don't know. There was no statistical
top going crazy.
They can't even prove it statistically. It doesn't make sense. Rodgers, okay. Wilson, fine. Brady should be at number 1 to me, if you ask me.
I mean,
Wentz, he did his thing last year. I came in front. Deshaun Watson, I'm so happy for him because they doubted him so bad last year. I was arguing with people on Facebook. I'm like, Deshaun Watson, they're like, he's gonna be trash, just like RG3, blah blah blah. Like, first of all, RG3 was not trash.
No, he wasn't. He got hurt.
And
that psyche. You
know RG3, when he got hurt in the playoff, I feel this is why coach got fired. He probably said, we're not putting him back in. The owner said, put him back in.
Yes.
And then RG3 got hurt, and he's never been the same. And he had beef with the O-line, like on some Willie Beeman, any given Sunday kind of thing. So that's what happened to RG3. His mouth and the owner. Wentz, Watson, that's Cam? Yeah, Cam. Cousins, I wouldn't put over Drew Brees. I definitely wouldn't.
Nobody.
Drew Brees should actually be top
he should be a top 5.
Listen, I'm sorry. We talking about Kirk Cousins. Yes, you like that. I don't like that. I don't. I do not like that.
I want to know who made this. I know Tom didn't make this.
Because I had Drew Brees. Literally, I get him every fantasy.
You're supposed to. Me too.
Because he gets you 45.
It's Drew Brees.
And this like the last a couple years, he hasn't really have any like crazy receivers, and he's still got like 4,500 plus yards.
The birthmark is magical, people. It's magic.
He's like 5'9" with cleats on, and he still does his thing. Which is crazy. And
then you got Andrew Luck that doesn't make. I mean, he shouldn't be considered at all if you haven't played in the last 2 years. Stafford, you got whatever.
That's
Big Ben.
Crazy.
Big Ben's on the decline, I feel. But when you have Antonio Brown, I mean.
Big Ben got Georgia on his mind. Not in a good way, neither.
I'm saying,
come on, Ben.
Now, and then I get off the NFL and draft. Now, who you think will be the biggest winners and who you think will be the biggest losers coming this draft? Give me 2 teams for biggest winners.
Biggest winners?
Yeah. Who you think will draft who they need to draft?
I see what you're saying. I want to say my Giants, but I'm very scared that they're not going to pick Barkley.
Okay.
But I hope common sense they will. I don't know. Probably Niners. I see them doing something. You can interrupt me. I'm just thinking.
No. Go ahead.
I'm thinking. Patriots. I mean, Patriots has got a whole bunch of picks. So that was a good move. I think they're going to amp up their defense more than their offense. I think they may possibly go more in the free agency for their offense, get a couple of vets.
Yeah.
Because they still have, what's his name? Mitchell? Is he on the, I think he's on the team still, right? The receiver?
Yeah. Mitchell. Yeah, they still got Mitchell.
Yeah.
They just signed Jordan Matthews. So.
Yeah, there you go. And Edelman. So I think
they got some people.
Gronk.
They still got Gronk.
So, I mean, I think they're pretty decent. I think they're going to amp that defense. So.
Tom says the Colts are going to be a dumpster fire.
Like they're always, Tom.
Straight bum juice.
They're never going to beat Brady in the playoffs.
Never.
No.
Who you got, Ruck?
2 teams that I'm excited about that I think are going to really improve their football team are both in the NFC. I'm taking the Eagles.
Okay.
Because I think Doug Peterson knows what he's doing in terms of adding weapons to what he has. And I think the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think nobody's really talked about them, and again, I understand because it's the Bucks, but quietly, very quietly this offseason, they've retooled their defensive line too.
Mm-hmm.
You add Vinny Curry.
They did, yeah.
You add what's his name? The other Bo Allen. You add Bo Allen, and then quietly you add Jason Pierre-Paul. That's it. And sorry for you.
Yeah,
you know,
I wasn't too happy about that.
He can't do high fives no more. Stop that.
His other hand, he can.
He got a strong 8, and you better leave that man alone. Okay.
10 toes down.
Y'all ain't shit.
Nah, wait.
If you add
better
them,
leave my boy alone.
if you add them to, if he ever get to,
Grab my good hand.
But he said in Scary Movie, my strong hand. I hate you.
listen.
Grab my good
If
Shout out
he
to
get,
JPP. I'm a miss you, bro.
if JPP get them pinches back,
Got you by jersey like this.
yeah, he gonna be something else.
Y'all so disrespectful.
But I think the Bucks, man. I think the Bucks because nobody's counting on them to do anything. I think they still have a good amount of money, even though they gave Mike Evans a boatload of money. Plus, we haven't really seen what Deshaun Jackson could do with that team.
And I love Deshaun Jackson. He of course he left a little hole in my heart with that little kick return against the Giants that I'll never forget.
Disrespectful.
But Deshaun Jackson,
Pioneer the high four.
I saw that and I disregarded it because y'all gonna keep talking about my babies. Listen, my Giants will always be my Giants.
Of course.
But
you stupid.
And also with the Bucks, Jameis Winston just needs to be quiet.
Yes.
I'm a Florida State fan, so I ride with him.
Yeah.
He
Jameis,
needs to
eat your crab legs and shut up.
Because that move that he did, when it was he poked someone in the head or something, and then it was Evans or somebody came and defended him, and he's like, I didn't even do anything. Like he's still
James,
that's still much immaturity still
stop
with
it,
him.
James.
Acting like OJ.
Stop it.
Yes. So as long as
Don't put that
Jameis
on
Winston just keeps
Don't put
quiet
that
and
on
just
Jameis.
plays football, he'll be a great player. I loved him except that game against Oregon, but he's a very I don't want to talk about it. But
We ran into a bus.
Now let's talk about it.
No, let's not. So we're talking about NBA.
So my team.
Who you got?
If the Browns draft Barkley.
Okay.
If they draft Barkley.
Okay.
I'm just sorry. I know you want your Giants game. If they draft him. And the Patriots. Because they got those picks. And again, you can just plug anybody anywhere. The losers to me.
Tara, what up?
Here's my losers. The Browns if they get Sam Darnold. If they get him.
I think any
She don't know the inside joke on that. I like that, boy.
I
like what you
get
did.
his name right forever. I call him Denard. Darryl.
Denard?
Yeah.
Daryl.
I just think all the quarterbacks are not
right
gonna succeed. But that's I can't say that because I thought the same thing about. Well, I didn't think the same thing about golf last year, but or 2 years ago. But we'll see.
But also Miami. Because Miami, they
That's
got
interesting.
so many holes to fill.
That's interesting.
And they, talking about getting Josh Allen. I'm like...
That's interesting, though.
I'm like...
Wait, why are they going to...
And they also got
they
Baker Mayfield
might...
on the board, too.
I can't stand Baker Mayfield.
See,
he needs to go to the Jets. Why? Because his whole attitude fits the Jets. To me. That's why I think.
That's where he fit. Arena League.
Listen, Baker mess around and get jumped in New York. You know they serious out there now. Unless he hanging with Takashi.
Oh, please don't start.
Let your nuts hang.
Let my nuts hang.
Boom.
Chill, blood.
Listen.
Tom said James got dialed on that eating the W pregame.
Oh my God, do you remember that? I was like, and I'm a little germaphobe, so just seeing that he was touching all his footballs in the sweat and the dirt, it was just like.
Then you don't want to.
And even his players are looking at him like, bro, what are you like? What are you doing?
Like you ain't gonna put none of that Purell on your head. You just gonna bypass.
We some dogs. Remember he said that.
We some dogs.
Remember that?
That's why I say he needs just to be. Quiet.
Okay, get off my boy, man. Let's go.
I love Jameis Winston.
That's it. So who y'all losers?
Losers.
Who's they gonna fuck up? There we go.
Losers.
I still think the Browns are. I don't know why. They just.
Of course.
I think it's a high potential that the Browns do.
Of course.
But you know who I really think is gonna mess it up, and this kind of just goes in line with their offseason too. I think the Seahawks is gonna mess it up too.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think they did a straight salary dump and really ended up with nothing. Mm-hmm. So no, actually, and shout out to my man Phil Plummer, the Cowboys gonna mess it up.
Of course.
That's who you want to mess it up. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to give Dak $204 million, and then they ain't going to get nobody else.
But why would they give? I hope they don't.
Because
I don't care, but
it's the Cowboys.
Listen, now.
But who really bring, is that offense?
They're going to bring T.O. back.
If you really look at, then I argued with people this before. They're saying, "Oh, Dak Prescott's the offense." No, it's Ezekiel Elliott. So that's who you should be paying. Granted, they don't pay running backs like that anymore.
Jerry Jones said, "We are not that far off from the Eagles."
Who said Jerry?
Jerry? Well, listen, Jerry. All right, you touching the people in the offseason again, Jerry. But there is some truth to that though, because the big game play in Dallas, and I really hate to say this for Dallas fans, is because of what they went through with Zeke.
They should have done that in the beginning of the season.
His inconsistency in not being there, I think they should have let it ride at the beginning of the season. They could have made it through. They had an easier schedule in the beginning of the season, right. And then you could have really gotten to the playoffs and done some things.
I agree.
But that was on Jerry too. He just kept fighting and fighting. It's like, just let me get suspended. I mean, I bet you the first 6 weeks suspended was better than the last 6. So that's what he should have done.
We talked about that too. We said just go ahead and let him rock.
Just don't fight it. Let him sit out 6 games.
Yeah.
Let him finish off strong.
But the Cowboys have a potential to mess it up too, because you know what they do. They draft for speed. So they're gonna look at the person. He had a 4.2?
Let's get.
But
he had 100 drops. So what?
Yeah, 100 drops, and he ain't never. Okay, let's get him.
87 yards in the whole career. Yeah, let's get him.
And then the whole Des Bryant situation's gonna be interesting too, because you know how he gets. So
he's horrible.
He's not gonna take a pay cut.
Now the other thing is too, just to throw another bone in there. What if they say they don't pay Dez? And then what if the Patriots say to them,
we'll take it.
You want these picks?
I'm tired of going to the damn Patriots.
Could it work? Could Dez become the Randy Moss? No. The new Randy Moss?
No one will ever be Randy
Moss. Listen, I'm not saying he Randy. He don't got the cornrows. He's not taking the top off. But in terms of, now you talk about a weapon like that with Tom.
Yeah. I mean, Tom could.
And if they get Gronk together, first of all, what is wrong with your boy, man? What's wrong with Gronk?
He's straight. He good. I just talked to him yesterday.
He look like he old. Like he's talking about retiring and acting.
He got a hurt wrist, hurt elbow.
He seen Fine Dance with Shaq the other day. Listen, just saying. But then he's about to lift him up on the shoulders.
When you cut the camera, he's like, shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think he just likes party. I think he just wants to be young and have, He
got millions of dollars. You know, anything that you want to do, enjoy life. And he got Super Bowl wins.
Hey, yo, put this out there, though. What if the Rams are not done in draft day? They get Gronk.
What do you mean they get Gronk? Like get their picks up for Gronk?
Everything else that we got on the board, give us Gronk. And you know Bill will do it.
Yeah. For draft picks, yeah, he will.
Right? Yeah. Could you imagine that offense? Todd Gurley, Robert Woods, Kupp, Gronk.
Yeah. The Rams are already looking nasty as it is, so just adding that'd be ridiculous.
We'll see.
Shout out to the Rams, though, even though they shouldn't have left St. Louis like that.
No. They left them.
They should have left the coach. The coach they should have got rid of. They shouldn't have left St. Louis.
That's Nelly's fault that they left St. Louis. Nelly, get stuck together, man. I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
I'm about to say, I thought he was the
you gotta throw a Nelly thing out there.
He was the ambassador.
You know what I'm saying?
But the coach is what
he was doing the chicken head.
That's why I thought.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. So we're gonna go to some quick commercial breaks right now.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk some NBA. All right, you gonna stay with us?
Shout out to my Knicks.
Shout out to my Knicks. All right.
Wow, she's Knicks fan too. Oh, this is about to be.
It hasn't been my year. And I'm a UConn fan too. It's just not my year.
What's up, wrestling fans? Gary Grinder here from the Out Wrestling Podcast. Join us live every Friday night from 8 to 9 p.m. as we get you caught up on everything pro wrestling with news, rumors, and great guest interviews right here.
Are you doing the camera?
Where we've got balls.
It's facing in.
Oh, you didn't talk about
the
Mevo?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Gary.
No, how are you doing? Are you moving the camera?
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
Podcast right here with WBLZ Sports. We'll get you caught up on all the current news from around pro wrestling, and we will have some great discussions as we cover WWE, Global Force,
one.
Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and the independent scene around our hometown of Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's the I Am Wrestling Podcast every Friday right here on WBLZ Sports, where we've got balls.
He said we got balls.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got.
Home! That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me! We've got your answers. WBLZ Sports.
We'll go another commercial.
We've got
We're gonna come back.
balls.
He said your show got 400% better looking this week. Just saying.
What's up, podcast? This is
Tell
Rick
us.
Reed from MyFantasySportsTalk.com. Check out myself, Dan Schalk, and Orlando Torres in the My Fantasy Podcast every Friday from 3 to 5 Eastern Time, right here on WBLZ.
Yo, Tom is crazy, son.
We got the primetime drive spot locked down, helping you get ready for the weekend. My Fantasy Podcast right here on WBLZSports.com. We got balls.
We're gonna talk about some NBA stuff and then wrap it up.
This is
Yo.
fun. I want to do it again.
Yo, were those really Kanye shoes that you got posted that time?
I'm not even joking.
For real? For Adidas?
So we about to come back. So anytime I play this song, these are like our comeback songs.
I like it.
I like wrestling, so I'm
Tom said you can move the camera with your mind.
I want that poster.
So this is what people see.
Oh yeah, I have my thing.
Okay.
Okay. I want that poster. By the way.
What
The Marvel, all those characters.
We are back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I said another like we left and came back. We went to commercial break.
Back like we never left.
Yes, we went to commercial break. So, again, SP, I just want to thank you for joining
Yep,
us.
yep.
You know, we
Are you guys
definitely-
impressed yet? or
Appreciate
no?
it.
Yeah.
Appreciate
you know
it.
what? You're
Very.
official. You're official.
You know what you're talking about.
You're official.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I know y'all
Clap-
doubted me.
Get a clap like Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes.
Good job.
So we definitely appreciate you coming here. And if you guys don't know, listen, she's coming from a far away. In Connecticut, over 30 minutes is far. On the East Coast. If you drive over 30 minutes, that's far. Down south, that's nothing.
That's true.
That's down the road. But if you, so we definitely appreciate you, coming on the show on a Saturday. You probably had 100 things to do, but we definitely appreciate you. And
But you here with us.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. I want to come again whenever you guys want.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Like I said, if you want to come on and just let us know, because you know your stuff, and we also going to do some venture stuff, because we got a website, we got some other stuff. Because you got a blog, you said, right?
Yeah, I have Lady in the Man Cave website where I talk about sports. I
Oh,
write
snap.
all my articles.
And we got the real DSTM.com. So
We got a network, man.
The record report. Shout out.
There we go. There we go. So, but speaking of the Ruck report, basketball is Ruck thing, man. He loved football too, but basketball, that's his first love, man.
I love
From
it.
Jersey. You know what I mean?
Cheers.
Listen, don't let the size fool you, y'all. My dude got the handles, y'all. My dude be
Get bopped up real quick.
Listen,
I tell people all the time, don't let the chubby face fool you,
and
boy.
then he left-handed. Like I don't know.
Oh,
like,
nice.
But he writes with his right hand, kind of like LeBron James. You know what I mean? But he shoots with his left though, which is crazy.
But my
So-
toes ain't like LeBron.
You stupid.
I'm just saying. And my hairline is not there yet. I'm just saying. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Stupid. So the NBA playoffs is
Fast approaching.
fast approaching. It's like
Fast
right
approaching.
around the corner, literally.
Like
So
next week.
right. So we got the teams who gonna be, who gonna be playing with each other. Who gonna be playing against each other and playing with each other. So,
Pause.
I looked at you like,
playing
Really?
against each other. Listen, I'm trying to be professional here, and y'all fucking around. Cut the shit.
you got a boss.
Like my mother said, cut the shit. Wish she had nothing
I
down.
think all black moms say that.
That
They
was
go-
like the staple.
They go cut the shit and then look at you hard.
Give you the rock eyebrow.
Now,
Just a
they
look.
just look off. So on the Eastern side, on the Eastern Conference side, we got at number 1. I'm gonna go 1 through 8.
Okay.
Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, Philly, Indiana.
Nope.
No.
You gotta redo that.
Oh yeah,
Because Philly jumped
Philly
Cleveland.
jumped Cleveland.
Yep.
So it's Philly, Cleveland, Indiana, Miami, Washington, Milwaukee. On the West, correct me. I know we have some Houston, Golden State, Portland, Utah, San Antonio, Oklahoma, New Orleans.
Damn, we slipped that bad.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
New Orleans, Minnesota, Denver, and the Clippers.
Well, that
we
could
go to
change
6?
so much though.
Yeah, it's like a half a game
The
left.
West, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys gonna have to play Portland.
Wait, who's your?
Okay,
He's an OKC fan.
I'm a Seattle Supersonics fan.
Yeah. Okay.
That turned into an OKC fan because I support.
I like Westbrook though. I love Westbrook.
Yo, he dope.
Gang member.
He dope. I don't know if you guys seen him
I shouldn't
on
do
Facebook.
that on camera though.
I don't know if you guys seen him on Facebook where they said like it had like the MVP and it was like female pictures.
Oh yeah, I seen that with
fun.
Anthony Davis.
Looking at
I thought that picture was real though. The Anthony Davis one, I really thought that was like real.
Yo,
But wasn't that the girl
from the Ice Cube movie,
for the Ice Cube movie, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, she looks real.
Yo,
that shit crazy.
yo, that
But
with that Russ.
Yeah, that Russ. I was crying.
Leave Russ
Crying.
alone. But that was really crazy. I really thought it was real. I'm like, wait, why did I like Russ? Like, it was funny.
Exactly.
Yo,
So
that's so real right now.
So coming out the first round, who you guys got? I mean, I got Toronto. I'm scared though. I don't believe in it too much.
This is the thing. Toronto is probably going to end up playing Miami. I mean, not Miami, Milwaukee. Excuse me.
Yep.
What are the Bucks?
Right.
What are they? But they got the potential
That's what I'm saying.
to put Toronto out. They do. I think the East is really. This is the craziest thing too, and I really cannot believe I'm about to say this because I do not trust the process in his head. But Philly right now looks to be the strongest team in the Eastern Conference. I mean, I'm not going to put LeBron out. I would never disrespect LeBron like that by saying that he doesn't have a chance. But if you look at what Philly has done, if you look at the way that they're playing, and the fact that they're so young that they don't even understand the moment.
Right.
So they just playing.
Yes.
It's a problem. And then you add Embiid back to that. I mean, whether Cleveland wasn't engaged last night, wasn't locked in, you got down by 30, right?
Right.
To a team that does not shoot well from behind the three-point line. So that means they were not only running you up and down the floor, but they were getting layup after layup after layup.
Them young legs.
That right there in itself, it's a problem.
I actually agree. I see the Sixers being a threat. They look all together
Yes.
compared to Cleveland because Cleveland basically dropped everybody but J.R. Smith and LeBron James and
Shout out
Kevin
to
Love.
Jersey.
So they need.
so
So they need.
So I mean, and with
This
of
all
course,
me. Shut up.
with
So they need.
with Kyrie of course being out, I mean that just made the path easier for LeBron James.
I don't want to say easier. Here's why. Because I think
It can be.
I mean, I think on paper it looks.
Shout out to my
It
Yankees.
looks
They
easy,
won again.
but Boston still have a solid defense.
Yeah.
I think that Boston still has.
But they're
lot
missing
to
a
take.
big piece.
Yes.
And I'm not even talking about Kyrie. I mean, for Boston, the Marcus Smart injury is the biggest piece about it because he's a glue guy. He's a guy that defends the best player. He's a guy that gets them started. He's the heart and soul. Like, that's what they're missing. Like, Kyrie in a first-round series, especially they may end up, with Washington or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Washington ain't really,
Yeah, Washington. Yeah.
Again, it's so heavy on what the team decides they're going to do because Washington, from a talent standpoint, is just as good as Cleveland, as Toronto,
Boston.
As Boston. But again, where you head at, that's why I'm not putting all my house money on everybody over there in the West Coast too with Houston. Because
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But again, y'all might want to rethink that. I'll tell you why, but I don't know. East Coast,
the East
different.
Coast is definitely. I mean, even Miami Heat. I mean, with Dwayne Wade,
Yes.
What I say?
he brought it back. Like
What'd I say?
that passion came back with
He
Wade.
does not like Dwayne Wade. I just
No,
think
no,
you
that's
should know
not
that.
I mean, I was
just-
kind of
Chris G?
disappointed. I like Dwayne Wade, but I was kind of disappointed with him when he was with the Bulls. When he basically had Jimmy do that whole little, the teammates, when they had that little beef with the team and he went to the media instead of his players. I was like, really, Wade, you just got there and you already started beef with Jimmy
Thank you.
versus everybody else.
And
Come
then
on.
they shipped Jimmy out. And
Yeah.
That was a bad combination though. You listen, again, we don't know what D Wade, because we haven't heard anything about him in the locker room as being a bad person, a polarizing character. But you got to think, he probably got a little cockiness with him. But you put him, Jimmy, who think he the man, that got the MVP shipped out of town before any of them came, and then Rondo, who know he the man.
I definitely agree.
Who thought that was gonna work?
And they were all beefing, so that's why I was like, Dwayne Wade. But he loves Miami. Miami loves him. So
yeah.
And then Toronto Raptors, I'm never 100% on them because I feel like I like DeRozan. Don't get me wrong, but Lowry, I just feel like every time it looks like they about to do something, they choke. And they remind me of James Harden and CP3. James Harden and CP3, everybody always argues with me. They're nice. They're nice regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, they choke. Every time. CP3 did it with the Clippers, even though I don't put that all on him. Right. I kind of put it on Doc too. But with the when it was New Orleans Hornets, he choked two in the playoffs when they got there. So you got two chokers.
Cincinnati Bengals of the
Whoa!
He's your boy.
Shots fired.
He's your boy. Marvin Lewis.
Pew pew. I mean,
I'm so mad he stayed. He could have left, but
listen, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I got.
You know what? Y'all gonna get off my man Marvin. That's my uncle now. Stop that.
But I feel that Toronto's gonna do the same thing they do every year. Is choke, and I feel the same thing with the Rockets.
Who's the thing about it, and what I ask people in the East, who's the X factor? For these other teams that we're talking about, who's the real X factor that can get them over the hump? Who's the guy? Yeah. And besides the superstars, we don't know that. Like, I know for a fact, and we've all seen, that your godson can put that entire team on his back and carry them to a championship. I've seen it. Yeah. So it's stamped, it's certified. Who else can do that? So if we can't answer the question of who else is the guy, I mean, it's going to be cute, but
who can do it?
Who really going to do it? So
I'm going to save this list because next month we're going to come back to it.
Yeah.
Now on the West.
I want the Thunder to win. I'm not going to lie. I do. I want Russell Westbrook.
I do. I like them for a reason.
I want all those guys. And I'm a Knicks fan, so shout out to Melo. No hard feelings. Love you.
You better root for somebody.
He's stupid.
They ain't doing it.
But Melo, PG, they're craving that ring. And I just want them to go against Kevin Durant. Honestly, that's what I hope would happen. But you never know. There's still a few games left. Yeah. And I just want Russell just to
Me too.
Just go crazy.
Hey, you ain't even got to come to me.
Listen.
I'm happy.
I would love to see them break down Golden State.
I think they can. I think even the Timberwolves can if Jimmy Butler comes back. I know he was active yesterday, actually, I think. So I actually think Jimmy and that squad is actually dangerous too. And Derrick Rose, their little combo, Thibodeau. So, I
don't know what Wiggins doing, but,
I feel bad for Wiggins.
He may have worked himself out of there, though, effectively this year. Yeah. I think they probably could go in a different direction because if they're going to stay with Jimmy, you know the franchise is really going to be built around Carl. So Wade may have worked his way out of there, but can OKC do something? I don't know. And that's my team, so I'm going to speak facts. Have they figured out a system yet? No, it hasn't been seen. Right. But I think that's not even the players' fault. I think that's strictly Billy Donovan because you have to put them in a position to be successful. So I don't think he's done a good job of that. But potentially, when you talk about firepower, if playing the right way, they can match. And we've played well against Golden State with everybody every game this season. Yes. Yeah. So we can do that. We played well against Houston. We beat them too. So it can happen. The cute pick is going to be Houston because of what they do. Is James Harden MVP? Yes, he is. Does CP3 make a big difference? Yes, he does. Did I believe that they could play like they play now in the beginning of the season? No, I didn't see it working. But Mike D'Antoni is genius. But the thing about Houston...
Mike D'Antoni, please don't get that man more credit.
Listen, he is. Listen, but the thing about Houston that people don't take into account is that it's feast or famine, right? If they hitting or if they're in a rhythm, they will blow you out.
That's true.
But when they miss... It turns into what they were in the other night. You down 20-something points to a team that shouldn't even be on the court with you. And that happens in a league. So in a league where what they're doing is shooting threes, trying to get lobs and stuff to the rim, if the threes aren't helping, what else can they go to besides one-on-one? And in the playoffs, NBA teams can match that. Exactly. Okay, you're going to play one-on-one with James? Okay.
And it's not and it's not just win go home. This is the best of 7.
So it's going to be hard. I mean, if the Golden State Warriors could rest Steph Curry the entire first round,
Which they should be able to.
But if they can, and they can rely on KD getting in the rhythm, Clay getting in the rhythm, and then bring Steph back, a fully manned Golden State team, I still don't see anybody that's going to beat them.
Yeah, especially if Steph Curry's resting too.
Yeah.
You know, and what they've been able to get from other players that now you add to the mix. Say what you want, Quinn Cook has earned his spot on that team.
And I'm happy for him. He got that, what was it, 2-year contract or something
He's
like that?
he's earned his spot on that team, and he's proven to be a good backup.
He was a real 2K 10-day player. Like,
Yeah.
Put you in here.
No, it's
see what you
real.
do.
And now you're talking about again. I know we had talked about before where one I forget who that dude was that kept going and talking about Iguodala was playing a lot of minutes, but now
Dude from Detroit.
yeah, they pulled that back, so now Iggy's not playing those minutes. They still got the thug of Jersey, David West, down there. So they got people. They got people. It can happen. So who else you want? And again, who else you going to bet on? You know,
True.
it's the thing that's going to be surprised is what Portland is able to do, and then Utah is not as easy out as everybody think they are, because you got to play out up there.
Yes.
That's
And
different.
Aldridge has to play. Like that's what happened to them last playoffs. He wasn't 100%. Now he has to like go crazy.
got to.
But
to get
LaMarcus
fired.
loves this. This is why I look at all the people that talk about the stats, like when Stephen A. Smith and everybody talking about him, and even Chris Boy and my boy too, Max Kellerman, they talk about it. Well, LaMarcus is doing this, LaMarcus is doing that. Listen, LaMarcus ain't doing nothing that he ain't never done before.
True.
And this is what he wanted to do. This was the main reason why he left Portland. Because he had to share the spotlight. Now he's in a position where he don't. This is what he wanted.
Yeah.
So he going to give you that 35, 40, and he can do that. So San Antonio is dangerous. Very
I
dangerous.
don't.
Now,
I just
San
don't
Antonio.
see it.
No?
I do. I want to, but I just feel Kawhi is still a missing piece. I don't know. I don't think they'll.
Listen.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but
they're going to get out the first round.
Yeah.
Well, who are they matched up to?
Utah.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah,
but
you know what I mean? But then after that,
that's
like,
the first
you know.
round.
Well, one thing that I will say, I think Golden State, they are the favorites, and even in my opinion. However, physically being fatigued, like that's going to be the difference maker. Because again, if you go into a 2 7-game series with Houston, or even with Portland, like that's going to take a toll on you. And that's one thing about the Western Conference is like either like last year they blew by everybody, so it's like okay, we rested. But if you get into them dog fights,
I think that's what's going to happen on both sides. I think it's all going to be 7. I think that's what's going to trip Toronto up.
and this is and also in my notes I said if it's the team Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, and Philly, these teams will be prepared to play a team from the West, because I think physically. When being in them dog fights, it's preparing you for the West. Because if we seen what Cleveland, we seen what Golden State did. They breezed by the playoffs, and it's like the advantage was Golden State because of obvious reasons. But if you talking what we seeing on paper, these teams playing each other, and you got Golden State, Houston, Oklahoma, San Antonio. So like if they match well against you and play each other, it's gonna be a sight to see. And I think the advantage is probably gonna go to the East and the West. You know what I mean? Because
do you think it's gonna be another rematch? Cavs and
I hope not.
I hope not either.
I hope not.
I hope that Golden States get knocked out.
So you want Cavs to go, but not
course.
Golden State.
Yeah, but whoever come out the West is still gonna be tough. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk. It ain't gonna be like, oh, this LeBron. No,
It's easy. It's because it's not the worst.
They're gonna be prepared too. You know
Listen,
what I mean?
I'll put it to you like this: if it is the Cavs, which it can be, so there's no hate over here, right? But once they get to the West, whether it's the Warriors or if it plays out to be the Rockets, I'm sorry, they're going to destroy the Cavs.
I don't think so.
They going to. Vinny, please tell me what you think about this, because
So you think
his
Cavs
godson.
If they gotta play Golden State, Cavs not winning.
So you feel like if they got to play Houston,
Yes,
which beat them handily,
that was
both
during the season.
both times, but
Playoff
both
basketball is
times.
different. That's fine. I'm putting my money on Cleveland.
I don't even talk to him.
They finally got the bench.
But like I said, I think James Harden and CP3 choke in the playoffs. So I would if they.
But you know what's different about them? Who matches up with them on the other side? right? You can say CP3 would choke, but who does Cleveland have that can match up with what he does when he's in there with that unit with a bunch of shooters?
Not JR. So.
It's not JR. It's not George Hill. George Hill may give him a little trouble, but what he's able to create, and then say what you will, right? We saw it when Golden State played Cleveland and when LeBron had to take on the challenge of guarding KD. We saw that. And it's not a knock against him. 15 years in, right? It affects him. It will. I'm sorry. I'm telling you. Listen. I want to see. I want to see if he gonna have them Zoom soldiers on with the straps, because James gonna have them things.
It don't matter.
He gonna be doing what's that dude dance the kids do this thing.
I just feel James
got to worry about the second round.
Listen,
he doesn't have any defense.
That's what I'm saying.
James got rid of Amber Rose is all good in Houston right now.
Oh my God! I forgot she dated.
Now the same way you say, who can guard them, whatever.
And who can guard LeBron? Nobody.
But who can they guard though?
Nobody.
Like nobody's scared to go against James Harden.
First of all,
they give him a lot of free throws.
Chris Paul is a dog. Stop that.
No, he
in
is
terms
a dog.
of defender, he's a very good defender.
But who is afraid to go and attack him?
But James Harden gets these free throws like crazy. Like, and that's one of the things I've seen this season.
Who is he stopping? Who's he stopping?
Who, James Harden?
Yes, who's
he doesn't. He doesn't play defense. He'll just do that little thing and then let you go by.
My grandma's getting buckets on James.
So I'm saying, I'm getting buckets.
And she gonna give him a plate of food after that. But I'm saying,
it's gonna be interesting.
It's a system. Listen, though, and you said it right. You talked about what Steph Curry created in terms of the league, right?
Yes.
So look at the league. The one thing that Cleveland does not do well, and we've seen it in their series with Golden State, they do not defend the 3-point line well.
That's true.
And the thing about Houston that makes them so different and unique, their shooters are not the typical 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". They're 6'8", 6'9". Ryan Anderson is 6'11". And
really?
He's dropping them. Right?
Again,
Eric Gordon is the shortest one besides Chris Paul.
I will take them. I would take Cleveland over them. Here's why: because like you pointed out, when Houston is down, they're down. You know what I mean? Golden State, they know how to play playoff ball. They know how to play.
Spurs.
But this is a different.
It's different. Playoffs is a different animal.
It's different.
Well, you got to think that KD's the reason why they won last year. So I mean,
thank you.
So I mean, as long as it seems like it's,
KB, I hate
exactly.
you.
And it's like, and again, like how could you? I mean, let's be real. They got one of the best players on the planet on the best team.
And I have to ask you that question.
When you gonna brush his hair?
Who, KD?
I don't know when he's gonna brush his hair. Don't ask me that. Don't put me in a predicament.
Dax, relax. Do-rag Durant.
He ain't never heard of a do-rag.
No do-rag
But
Durant.
But that's something. Cause now I got his hair in my face. All I see is little peas. Like,
look at that Kevin Durant is like watching Roots in 4K. You like, dang boy, you got all that up there.
All that money.
Look, people like this. Look.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, son.
I'm done.
Go ahead. What you want to say?
My bad.
Okay. Oh, LeBron, KD leaving.
Yeah.
Who Sorry. When it comes to LeBron leaving for Miami, what he did, and then KD leaving for Warriors, who? Because they say, oh, they're wrong for that. They're traitors. They're not real NBA players. They don't do that just to get a ring. Do you think that what KD did was worse than LeBron, or they're the same level?
No. You know what? Here's the thing. It's a business. These owners could care two shit about them. You know what I'm saying? So, in terms of the competition, if this was like 2005, we'd have been like, yo, he's a sucker for doing that. Why would he do that? But at the same time, we're seeing teams tank to get good players. These owners don't care. Like, they will get, like, if KD wasn't leaving, they probably would say, you know what, we'll get rid of you anyway and get, and Russian, because this is a point guard league now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, big men is expendable. It's like, we don't really need
Which
you.
is sad. I miss the big men days.
That's what I'm saying.
Back in the 90s.
Because you set a trend. Now, when you're talking about what LeBron did again, you're talking about Dan Gilbert. Give me players I can play with. Okay, we'll get you Shaq. Shaq is my uncle age. I can't use him.
Well, yeah, the Shaq was on his decline then. He was.
Let's give me Antoine Jameson. Okay, no, I don't want him. I need some real players.
Give me Jamario Moon.
Right. Let's try to get Chris Bosh over here. Let's try to get some real players. Now we can't do that. Oh, so we can't? Peace. I'm gonna show you what's this about to start. So again, and on KD, him and Russ could not click. If you look at when KD was not on the floor, they still were successful. Russ played better with KD off the floor, and vice versa.
But why is that? I always felt like why? Like look at James Harden, them all that three. They were the big three.
I think it was personal.
It had to be because there's no reason why those three couldn't have played.
Because when you talk about within the past 6 years, 3 MVPs were on the same team. That's crazy.
Exactly.
And they couldn't win it.
And they had Serge. Was Serge there at the time?
Yep.
Ibaka?
Yes, he was.
So I was like mind blowing that they couldn't get it together. They probably won the last 3 championships if they would have got together.
Like Ruck said, that was personal. That was like, I don't like you. I'm going to make it known.
Because it didn't make sense to go to a team that didn't really need
They
him.
were Golden State before Golden State.
Yeah, it was more of wanting to be, I think, the next star.
Yes.
Because I think that plays into a lot of people's heads in terms of the young athletes now. These guys come in understanding the full scope of the platform that they have. It's the marketability. It's the
business.
The business side. It's the money draw, the market that you're in, the products that you can sell. How can I be the guy? So I think these guys put that before winning than anybody. But you see a shift now with the power team like a Golden State or somebody where they're sacrificing and saying, okay, let's kind of keep this together because if we can win and be in a good market, we can still get the money in. So I think that's what it is. But it shouldn't have broke down like that, but it did.
I mean, with their playoff, they were 3-1. All they had to win was one more game.
One game.
So you're telling me there wasn't talks before that series? I believe that KD was talked to in that playoff because there's no reason why they lost the next 3 straight.
Especially when it got tight.
Yeah, they should have won that.
I'm guaranteeing, especially when it got tight, that there was a dinner at some point that they was all sitting down.
And Golden State. They was like, "Katie, why don't you get on the bus?" No, go ahead.
Because that's what Ray Allen did. I believe he missed those free throws on purpose.
Ooh, controversy.
I'm just saying.
I like it.
I love Ray Allen. UConn
he
all day.
He about to go to the Hall of Fame.
He didn't retire.
Like that?
I didn't think he retired yet. I thought he was chilling still.
Nah, he going to the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Well, I love him. He's a UConn Husky. I'm a UConn fan and a Tar Heel fan. So, but when he missed those free throws, come on. 3-point king missing free throws. And then all of a sudden he went to Miami after they lost them in the playoffs. Just find a little coincidence. Just a little
There's no way the Celtics should have lost that game.
By his book. So let me read.
By his book.
Let me read these few comments. Hey, Mike, what's up, man?
Just look at Richard's comment. Rich, shut up, yo.
I didn't even read it yet.
He didn't say nothing.
Why are you lying?
Coach, what up?
Tom said they couldn't get it together in OKC because the hottest night life was in Applebee's.
Yes, Tom. You know what it is.
And Wilson Tribe said, shouts out to them for tuning in. He said, Kevin Durant ain't no killer. He's a great player, but not elite. Running to already made championship was weak. Should not have went to...
Oh, no, he should have went to DC?
I thought he was, though, because I remember he gave homage to LeBron going back home.
Yeah.
And I thought KD, because I was like, oh, that's kind of nice him, John Wall.
He said,
that's nice.
Psych!
Yeah,
yeah,
but that
got him.
Do you respect his championship? Like his ring?
He won it.
Yeah, he won it.
He
won it. And he did what he had to do during that series.
Listen, you know why we say that? Because you're like us. Like, we're old school.
Yeah, we're
I love the 90s. I love...
These young kids... You gotta remember, they come from an era of
2K,
AAU and 2K. And AAU, you'll play for 18, and it don't matter. You know what he say?
Yo, your boy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Could you say what's up, Rich?
Hi, Rich. How you doing, sweetheart?
Okay.
Oh, it's over. He gonna show up and find
the door?
Wait, is that? Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I thought he was.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Delete. Yeah, so yeah, but we come from the era of like, listen, if you're the best, I gotta beat you. But these kids come from the era of like, listen, I'm gonna get mine right now. I don't care what you talking about. I'm getting mine.
I can't.
We ain't never had as many hearts ever.
Who's doing that?
Richard Lennon IV.
higher.
Oh, jeez. Anyway.
Oh, Jesus, Lord.
See? We're trying to have a professional show.
You know what I'm saying?
God damn it. And my Lorenz Tate was God damn it.
Lorenz Tate. He's so
man.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, but...
Yo, you said, oh, yeah. Wait, you might want to take that back.
No.
This is live, people.
No. You know, okay.
I'm staying out of this.
Thank you, Tom.
Pause.
Let me see. Tom said they come from an era of AAU, PlayStation. You can just put all the good players on one team, no wiggy. That's true.
Yeah.
And that's why we're not used to it, because we're not used to like not being competitive. We're not.
Well, that's why I like my favorite players right now. I'm a Knicks fan, but I don't really have a favorite Knick right now.
You
But
shouldn't. Go ahead.
my favorite player is Russell Westbrook and DeMarcus Cousins, because I feel DeMarcus Cousins he plays like a '90s. Like he's just he's too crazy. He's too mean. Like no, he's playing aggressive.
He played like Charles Oakley.
Exactly.
Punch me in the face.
And that's why he's my favorite. I felt bad when he got hurt too, because I thought the Pelicans.
Yeah, man.
Imagine him on that roster now, going into the playoffs.
I actually wanted him to go to your Thunder. I thought him and Russell would have been. I thought
Boy,
that.
let me tell you,
for real.
That's fights and a whole bunch. Ain't nobody seeing this on the court or off the court. What y'all want to do?
That's the Palace too.
Yeah.
Square
but
up.
That could happen. I mean, he's about to be free agent, right? And PG, you don't know if he's staying.
Yeah.
You know what the crazy thing is? I think the Paul George
Rick
thing.
Mahorn, yeah.
I think the Paul George thing is gonna work out. I think it's gonna work out.
I think it should.
It's sounding like, but I think again, you look at how much is it really worth going home. You know, if I get the money, but I'm still not winning, because I think some of these guys still place a high priority on winning.
And with Carmelo, I think that makes sense more.
So it
may
may work out.
Balls, like,
Never lost.
But you know what? That was the one thing I wanted to get to, right? So was Lonzo's season a bust?
No.
I think his dad just put too much.
I think
hype to
again.
it.
I think
if
it was
his
just
dad was just quiet, it would have been like, oh, typical
Cool,
rookie.
right.
Well, I shouldn't say typical rookie looking at others,
Well,
but
this
he
is
didn't
the
do
thing,
nothing
though.
bad, though.
But
No,
typical rookie, the crazy thing is, and Max Kellerman pointed this out, this was on First Take too, if you look at it, his stats were better than Jason Kidd's his rookie year.
Well, I think we all had him coming in like
So,
the next Jason Kidd. I mean,
You know, exactly. So in terms of what he was able to do,
with the
Not
pressure.
bad.
plus they got dad to kind of shut up a little bit. Shout out to Magic Johnson. I know what you did, Magic.
I wonder. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Magic said, "Listen, I got this hangnail.
I'm about to say, you see this needle? You see this needle?
Look, Magic was like this. Look. You better shut up.
Magic said, you see the DNA?
Shout out to Magic, you my man. I love you, my favorite
Y'all wrong
player
for
of all
that.
time.
Y'all are wrong.
But I'm just saying, like, the Lakers have put themselves in a good position. It's possible that they could go a different direction because I think they're realistic about their chances with LeBron.
I agree.
You know, and I think if you're building the team, go with the smart money. You know, they have a lot of NBA rumor mills. They have a lot of people leaving. It seems like
Lakers, or?
just period. I mean, it seems like Kawhi's not going to be.
He doesn't. I don't believe he wants to be. I think he's just making up things just to not.
I don't know if he wants to be in San Antonio. Danny Ainge is still having. He has his eye on Anthony Davis. I mean, there's still a Boogie thing. There's a lot of different people that they could put together. But I think Lonzo did himself well, stat wise.
Yeah,
stat wise, I think he did, and I think what he could be, especially if you're going to get a comparison to Jason Kidd, the man is a Hall of Famer. So it's not a bad look.
In LA.
And I'm surprised they let him go. The Buccaneers. Wow, I'm in football.
The
Bucks. Sorry.
No. Yeah.
When they let Jason Kidd go as a coach, because when I heard that, I want the Knicks to snatch him up.
Yeah.
Because he played.
The Knicks need Mark Jackson.
Knicks ain't gonna do it.
Get Mark Jackson.
They ain't gonna do it.
Get Mark Jackson.
They're gonna go after some. I don't know. Yeah.
And they're gonna pay him a lot of money too.
Like, why do they pay? No disrespect to Tim Hardaway Jr. because I like his dad.
No, with all disrespect, how you gonna get rid of him and bring him back?
That's what you
for $72 million. Rose had better stats than he did, honestly, and I know that's just shocker.
And a lot of people don't give Derek that credit.
I
man.
love Derrick Rose. I think
Derrick
Derrick Rose
played well in
deserves
New York.
more than, and he went from making $20 million to going to Cleveland and $2 million. So you're telling me the Knicks couldn't have paid this brother $2 million,
Nope.
but give Tim Hardaway 72,
Nope.
who had worse stats than Derrick Rose. I don't get it.
Cool. Now,
Rich
shout
London
out to
said,
us. That's a great
Kuzma
comment.
is the best player.
He
on
is
Lakers.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely,
Kuzma's dope.
absolutely. That's
But
a
again,
fact.
We got that young Laker team, man. Keep bringing back that Showtime.
That's a fact.
With that Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything else to say, basketball wise? I think that we touched upon.
What about UConn? I saw you guys already had a UConn show.
Yeah, man. That was just watching them lose like that.
Well, how do you feel about the guys and the firing of Kevin Ollie?
Well, we kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know.
You kind of got to get out that AAU conference. I'm sorry, AAC.
Yes.
Still
Yes.
AAU. They got to get out that conference. They
Why
gotta
do you?
go-
Why?
Because they don't have no competition. You're not getting no kids, no big recruits to go play in the
No.
AAC conference. You got to get the kids
Well,
to go to the ACC.
Yeah.
Like UConn should have went to the ACC, but again, they didn't want to break the
They
football
should have
program.
never left the Big East.
But they
Never.
couldn't. No, the Big East got rid of them because they were taking on Catholic schools and private schools. They
Listen,
wasn't keeping UConn.
They could have stayed. I'm telling you, UConn was a big draw.
But now it seems like with what the NBA is doing and Lonzo or his dad, LeVar, that's his
LeVar.
name. Thank you. I'm getting
Never
confused.
lost.
They're doing all
Never
these
lost.
high school programs now that you don't have to go to college
That's what I'm
anymore.
saying.
So now it's like, what's going to happen to college
It's gonna be
sports?
horrible.
The NCAA put their
But they
foot
did
in their
it-
mouth. They did it to themselves this
Yeah, they
year
did.
with everything that they did
Yes,
because
they did.
they scared all these kids from the McDonald's game and said, "Wait, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
You checking my bank account? Oh no, I'm straight."
But you know how
Good.
long that's been going on.
Yeah, but now you actually
he got
checking.
exposed it. Like,
Yeah,
he got
but
game
now you
exposed
checking.
it.
Nah,
Yeah.
y'all ain't never act like this.
So
they out.
If you're a kid who's 19, I'd rather make 50 to 70,000 to play and to get better, playing with professionals to possibly get drafted. Versus going to college and my moms can't eat. I got to worry about
it's
how
an easy choice for these kids now
Yeah.
because not only with the G League, but if you're telling a college kid that you can go overseas and get at least $200,000
True. Rick.
tax free for a year. I mean, I'm gonna make that choice, especially if I have the talent to get to the league. Now, Jello, I don't know what you was doing. I mean, did you see what Dennis Rodman said?
No.
Dennis Rodman hit him with the charger. He's like, he's horrible. He's just terrible. Terrible, everybody. Terrible.
But again,
After the 72-point game, too.
what you
Terrible.
Because who was he playing anyway? But again,
72 is 72, though. Stop it. You got to put the ball on hold, man.
I can get
Pause.
45 over there. I'm just saying.
That's facts.
I get 45 over there.
That's facts.
In some church shoes. But anyway, what you see is these influx of foreigners coming over to the NBA, making waves. So these players like, listen, I might as well go where they at.
Yeah.
Why go to college?
It's tough, man. Because even now, and shout out to Rich London, too, we had a great discussion. We were talking about just Jalen Brunson and everything that he did for Villanova. And then for him, you're talking about the AP Player of the Year,
True, Tom. True.
right? He won the best point guard in the college game this year award. And he might not be a lottery pick.
Ding, 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 ding.
And there's so many like NCAA basketball players and only 10%, not even 10%, but like only
Right.
a few because there's only like 11
So,
players on the team. So
you know,
it's not like the NFL where
But
there's so many
you know what
players.
we do have to do, though, in this moment? We
What's up?
definitely have to shout out Mustafa Heron
Yes.
for everything he did at the University of Auburn, for taking his talents to the NBA. I think the young man is going to do a great job. You know,
Right.
super, super excited for him and
Shouts
his family.
out to Kenny Foster for that plug.
Kenny Fofo. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great thing, man. So, shouts out to all the people that are putting their names in the draft, making that
money.
decision.
Get that money.
Go ahead and get it.
But okay, so now with LeVar and everything that's going on, do you think NCAA should pay these kids?
They should give a bigger
I
stipend.
always
Yes, they
said
should.
that.
Yes.
I think they should
Absolutely.
too.
Yes.
When they started using their likeliness, whatever, to, I remember Reggie Bush's jersey. It was like one of the highest paid jerseys
Remember
ever,
that?
and
Crazy.
didn't get paid at the whole Heisman issue, but he didn't get paid not one dime.
Not one down.
And you're not guaranteed to make it into the NFL.
No.
I mean, even Victor Cruz, he wasn't drafted. Giants got him outside of the draft, and he went to a Mass or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like that.
UMass.
They got him at a bodega.
Yeah.
In the Bronx. That's what they got him at.
They was like, oh, he was chasing somebody for stealing? He fast.
That's what they got him at.
But I mean, you can go all the way back to, and people discount that. Like, people don't understand. During the first year at Michigan, the Fab Five to the university brought in excess of over, I think it was like $75, $80 million in
That's a lot of
one
money.
year.
That's a lot of money.
Where's the money going?
You know. It's going to their kids.
It's that school up north.
It's going to their kids, so they can start
school
owning
up
all the
north.
teams
There
that
you
we
go.
play
There
for.
you
Because
go.
I don't know one black owner.
She's smart. That girl smart.
And I'm gonna jump back to the NFL real quick, and we talking about having a system, and then I'm gonna shut up because I know I'm gonna piss some people off. That's why you see all these stink ass backup quarterbacks. What they're doing is they're building their resume to become coaches and GMs. Because if a black player want to do it, it's like, nah, we can't, no. Because they know that they're going to say, listen, I got just as much experience as you do. Because McCown, he been like to 8 different teams. He know everybody. He's making connections.
27 jerseys.
That's what I'm saying.
Are you serious?
Professional. They had it on NFL Network the other day.
27 is 32.
27 jerseys.
So
That's
now,
terrible.
So now when he retires, guess how many teams, half of them will say, hey, do you want to be quarterback's coach? Do you want to be offensive coordinator? Now, if a black player, again, this when I talk about systems, we can't have you because if you got that, let me stop.
Yeah, I know where you're going with it. I'm not going.
Because what they said, the reason why a lot of black players are not head coaches is because there's not enough of them in the NCAA to become coaches. I'm like 85% of the
90%.
And Tom said it too, man. Chad Henne, Colt McCoy, Chase Daniels, professionals. Professionals. And Chase Daniels just got another contract. Come on, son.
And what's going to happen is, guess what? They're going to be coaches.
Listen, and the crazy thing about it is, and while we're talking about it, just real quick, the whole purpose of them talking about this with the NFL Network and especially McCown is they were kind of making a joke of it because think about it, he's been in the league so long. And been doing this for so long. I think he's 34 right now or something like that.
Around there.
He has a kid that's going to college. That is a freshman. One of his kids is a freshman in college. This man wore 27 jerseys and got sizable contracts. Because when people discount the NFL, a veteran contract for a quarterback is like at least $2 million, $3 million, even if they give it to you for 1 year.
Yep.
So we don't Sam Bradford. He is future. Mask off. Get it.
Get it.
So,
but yeah, man. Listen,
that's how I feel.
Listen, we can go all day, but I know you got to get home. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dope. I think everybody tuned in. Tom, Rich London, everybody from your page.
Go back to that. Let's just thank Rich London for tuning in. Because he has never been on our show before.
Are you serious?
He has never tuned in to listen to anything that we talked about. Tom. Shout out to Tom.
Hi, Tom.
But them newbies, like Rich London.
Thank you. Thank you for breaking them up.
People, we got 743 hearts during this episode.
We ain't get one thumb.
It's 742 of them came from one source.
We don't want to say who he is.
And it continues to rise. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Rich London. Gotta love that man.
The heart is showing his blood pressure. It's rising. With that being said, so can you tell everybody where they can find you? Can you give them your plug, your show, everything?
Sure. My Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat's all the same. It's SP_all day.
Okay.
I see the hearts. And my Facebook is Shannon SP Person. Yes, that's my real last name. My shows are on Tuesdays, 10 to whenever, basically.
Okay.
I usually post it on my page. It's wxci.org. You can stream it worldwide. Call in. My website is ladyinthemancave.com. I'm also doing a couple internships. You can catch a couple of my articles on Black Sports Online.
Okay.
I do a couple articles. I think they're affiliated with Fox or something. So,
nice.
I'm trying to get there. So.
Yeah.
Get that bag.
You're doing it.
As a kid said, get that bag, man. Get that bag. Get that
You
bag.
see what Tom said? This show is brought to you by the American Heart Association. Good looks, Tom. We appreciate it.
Listen, man, again, we definitely appreciate you from the bottom of my heart for coming in.
You're welcome.
It was fun, man. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to tell you what. We have a lot of guys who get in hot seat and they can't. They just choke up. They just
Really?
clam up. Yes.
But see, I can talk sports all day.
No, but you have a lot of these, who talk about, when I come to the show, I'm going to shut you down. Then they come here and it's like, some shows I didn't even put out because
Crickets.
they didn't say nothing.
Really?
Shout your boy Hannibal. I'm going there. He ain't say nothing. He was like this.
Ooh.
He said, yo,
Yo, you did Hannibal like that?
He was up here.
Turn my mic up.
This is when we had the long table. He's like, yo, because I can hear myself. I sound weird. I'm like, yo, listen.
Oh, because he heard himself, so he kind of choked because he didn't like how he sounded.
Mad people think that. Like, I think everybody think that when they hear themselves that they sound like a 1-900 operator. Like, yeah,
oh, really?
Yo, it's your boy.
Everybody do not have the Barry White voice.
Yeah.
Look, this dude said she's the best host yet. You're not firing Chris,
Nah,
yo. What is this dude problem?
Why would you want to do that? Who's Chris?
He's our other host.
Oh, that's when that's not here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, man, let's
He's our
wrap
brother,
up, man. Let's wrap up, man.
Because we giving Rich London too much shine right now.
On that
You got
note,
too much sauce.
On that note, I'm going to start off, because he's not here, Chris G. I'm with
Hi,
Professional
Chris.
Sutton.
It's your boy, the Ruck Report, Jersey.
And you can take us out. Just say.
Shannon.
There you go.
I wasn't expecting them. I'm sorry. SP all day. You know what I'm
there
saying?
You go. Yo, say the beat. Let her nuts hang.
Black.
Peace.
Boom.
All right, we done.
Yo, he is